So I just finished this morning watching the first two episodes of Hawkeye, starring Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop and Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton. And yes, this is set in Christmas season, holiday season. And yes, this is the AWO bringing the first two episodes non-spoiler review. I plan to do a spoiler review, maybe a live stream a couple days from now, or maybe I just upload a video. But let's get into this. It's non-spoiler review, guys. AWO. So sit back and relax. If you haven't seen this, I'm sure you don't need to be told. If you haven't seen it, I hope this gets you into watching it. It's Disney on Disney Plus. The first two episodes dropped today, and so let's get into it, guys. So, what did I think of Hawkeye season 1 and 2? Thumbs up. I loved it. I fucking loved it. Sorry for my swearing there, but I really did love the first two episodes. Now, the first episode was more of a Kate Bishop centric episode. The introduction to Kate Bishop, especially the first scene. The first scene hooked me in right away of the show, and how Kate Bishop idolized Clint Barton. I mean, that's not really a spoiler there. You kind of know she idolizes him, right? From the trailers and stuff. This is how she got to idolize Clint Barton, how she got into archery. And we see her family life going up, and what happens as time went on. Yeah, it was more of an eccentric episode, as it should be. You gotta establish the character right off the bat, especially if you're establishing a new character for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether it's on Disney Plus, the shows, or the movies. So you gotta establish the future. And then Kate Bishop is definitely one of the future characters, heroes that Disney is going to establish, right, for the future of the MCU. And so yeah, it was essentially the dialogue with her mother was great. But dialogue, the communication, you felt it hooked. Clint Barton was great in the first episode. He's there with his family and stuff. And then he sees what happened. He saw what happened, and you see what happened. You see in this episode, how he gets involved with the Kate Bishop dilemma. You see why. I'm not gonna tell you why, but I'm just gonna tell you, if you watch Endgame, I think you might know why. And I think if you see the trailer, you see a costume that Kate Bishop kind of wears that. It's not hers. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you've seen Endgame, you know what character I'm talking about. You know what character I'm talking about that involves Clint Barton and how he went a more darker route. But yeah, in the second episode, we're gonna get to the dialogue in what I think about the action scenes. The second episode was great too. They kind of went their separate ways. Kate Bishop and Clint Barton had to retrieve something. Kate Bishop had to deal with her mother and the person she's dating. She doesn't trust the person she's dating. She thinks it's corrupt, evil, whatever, as she should be. I mean, it's hard for her. It's not her father, right? I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm sorry. She doesn't trust the person that her mother's dating. She's rich. She's wealthy. By the way, Kate Bishop is wealthy. I think you know that. She's wealthy. And then you get Clint Barton where he has to go retrieve something. It's funny how he retrieves this item because it gets stolen. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm not going to get in detail. Spoiler review will tell you. It gets stolen. And he finds out who steals it or takes it, and he has to participate in something that's pretty funny to retrieve this the item that he was looking for. It's pretty funny. And then at the end of the episode, it was great. We see Kate Bishop and Clint Barton back together again, but not in such a good situation. Not in a good situation here, kind of in trouble. And then the end of the episode, we're going to get introduced to a character that's going to be playing. It's going to be in another MCU project. I'm not going to spoil who, but if you pay attention to the Disney Plus show, one of the MCU projects is going to be called Echo, and this character will play into that show. But that's the end of episode 2. I'm not going to spoil her name or her real name but if you watch some of my videos in the past, like the past few weeks, I mentioned her name and her name before, so it may not be a spoiler here per se. But if you haven't watched Disney Plus, if you're not aware of this, it might be a spoiler. I'm sorry if I spoil this. I still haven't said her name, so that's good. But we're gonna get an introduction. I do believe the Kingpin's involved, guys. The Kingpin is not in these episodes, so I'm not spoiling anything here. I do think the Kingpin might be involved in some way. They haven't mentioned anything about Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, so I'm not spoiling anything for here. I'm sorry, but who knows in the future, right? Who knows in the future if he's involved? I still think he's possibly involved. Now let's get to the action scenes. I love the action scenes. Kate Bishop held her own, but there was times where she struggled, of course, against some. And Clint Barton had to come up to help her, specifically in the first episode. But she's trained in martial arts and different combat and archery. So she doesn't need training right away from the scratch. She already has some basic. Well, actually, she's advanced in martial arts and karate. She's black belt, I think they said. Not really a spoiler there, guys. Not really much. And now the dialogue, the chemistry between Clint and Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, and Jeremy Renner, right off the bat, instant chemistry right off the bat when they first meet. Right off the bat, even her chemistry with Mother, spot on. The dialogue in this show, it's top notch, just like a lot of MCU shows, top notch. Kate Bishop and Clint Barton. Clint Barton is serious, a little bit jokes. Kate Bishop is it could be serious, but she has a lot of jokes. She's sarcastic at times. She can be sarcastic. Right off the top, the chemistry is top notch. Mother's top notch. Like her mother cares for her, and she's kind of she's protective of her mother because she doesn't trust the guy who she's dating. She's protective of her mother. But yeah, but there's some things that are very funny in the show. Like it's one of the things. The second episode, I think you're gonna love it. But yeah, so this is my review of Hawkeye episode 1 and 2. So what I want you to do is like, share, comment, subscribe, and yes, I'm doing a spoiler review. I don't know if it's gonna be a live stream or a video, but I plan on doing one. And we're going to spoil this. And next episode 3 comes out next Wednesday, guys. Remember, it's a 6-episode show, and the first 2 drop today. So we got 4 more weeks, and then the next Disney Plus big show is Star Wars: The Book of Fett. But yeah, so yeah, once again, like, share, subscribe down below. Tell me what you think of the show. With that, AWO, the Air Order is out. Peace, all.